What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're back with another Grand Voyage. Everyone loves the Grand Voyage, but, you know, this one is a little crazy. This one versus Monkey D. Luffy on the Arlong Park story mode, and this is a very, very interesting quest. This is the first Grand Voyage where you can see on level 3 there that you actually need one of every type on your team in order to complete the full challenge, which is, you know, as I said, something we've never seen before. All of these Grand Voyages have been focused on one color, one class, and having one specific unit on the team to fulfill all of the requirements at level 5. This time around, you know, you need to have Powerhouse, you need at least an Arlong character on your crew, and one of every color. So with all of that in mind, the best scenario possible would be utilizing Legend Arlong crew, which honestly has never seen play. Even on release, the character pretty much never saw any play, but he makes use here because you basically need to use him as a captain to get through a lot of the different gimmicks in this quest. So let's go ahead through the team breakdown, and I want to give a massive shout out to Dylan OPTC. I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel and his original video down below in the comment section here. This team is the team that is able to get the job done. Now, even though you might be able to complete this team, there's something else that we'll talk about in just a moment, which makes this a little less accessible for most players. But of course, we have Arlong crew at the top here, which is going to be Limit Break Expanded, level 150. The thing is, though, is that Arlong crew does not have a super evolution, and he doesn't have a level limit break, which means that this character, you know, when he does receive those buffs, could make this team even easier, and would mean that the investments that are required in order to beat it currently may not be needed. Also, something to note is that with the introduction of Blackbeard versus Whitebeard coming very shortly, that actually may switch things up in terms of how you build this team, so we'll have to wait and see. If it does change, I'll likely make an additional video for you guys. Now, the free-to-play characters that we have on this team, we've got this Clash Jinbei. The main reason why he is good is because of his double special launch and his special, which is able to remove paralysis and is able to reduce enemies' defense to 0. Those are the two components of his special that make real good play here. Additionally, with the support of Sanji attached to Jinbei, it allows us to remove resilience when we reach the final stage, which is important. We do have the support of Legend Hody Jones attached to Arlong crew, which says that anytime we're inflicted with special reverse, you reduce Powerhouse characters' cooldowns by 2 turns at the start of the next turn. One of the best supports in the game, and it only really supports a very small amount of characters though, so that's kind of how it goes. Now, one of the most required characters for this team is Legend Garp, and you do need him at level limit break 5, level 150, in order to get his buffed special, which gives you the chain boundary effect, which is super good. On top of that, giving you 10 turns of special bind reduction is also incredible. So making sure that you have his special ready to go is important, along with the support of Kobe attached to Garp, which allows you to remove 3 turns of blind, 3 turns of attack down whenever you're inflicted with it, and both of those debuffs are inflicted on the final stage. So it's basically built with like Garp and Kobe in mind, so you need to have that. We also have Charlotte Linlin. This is the free-to-play Kizuna Clash Charlotte Linlin. Being able to remove Special Bind, of course, once again, as well as being able to remove Rainbow Shield by 6 turns is very good, and changing slots into Semla is also kind of key for this team, and giving an Orb Boost to Int-Driven Powerhouse, 2 times Orb Boost for 3 turns, so we can carry an Orb Boost into Stage 4, because the enemy says that you're not allowed to activate an attack or an Orb Boost on Stage 4, so very important that you have that, along with the support of Pudding, which is able to remove Bind by 1 turn when we're inflicted with it. Now, the final character on the team is going to be Charlotte Cracker, another very powerful unit here, being able to change slots, give color affinity, give a chain boost, of course, with the support of Katakuri. This is the super type Legend Katakuri, super class should I say, and this allows you to get a 1.75 times attack boost to Powerhouse when you use the special of the character that he supports. So being able to get an attack boost from the support and an orb boost from Big Mom in the prior stage makes stage 4 incredibly easy to take down. Now, the friend cap captain for this quest is going to be V1 Whitebeard, and ideally having as much investments in that as possible is going to make things a lot easier for you. But the thing that makes this team that much more difficult in order to acquire is the ship itself. So you see, currently we have the Moby Dick. Now, I did test this with max investments with a level 11 Moby Dick, and the damage did not suffice. You do need to have this ship at level 12. However, one thing I will say is that you do not need the investments that you see here for modification. The modifications are completely unnecessary for this ship because the first ability gives you cooldown reduction, the second one gives you damage reduction. You do not need these effects at all. All you need is the super buffed effect from level 12. If you have that, you can use this team with full investments to get the job done. If you go ahead and modify it to give your crew additional stats, it just makes it a little bit easier for you, but definitely not required. But anyways, that is the team breakdown. Let's go ahead and jump into the content. So jumping into the video, of course, here we have our team comp, and we have a relatively good friend captain in this scenario. You know, if worse comes to worse, I was going to limit break expand my V1 Whitebeard and get him sorted so that I could use it as a friend captain, but luckily quite a few people were using Whitebeard as their captain, as you know, it was the most ideal way to get through this content. So you see on stage 1 here, you get a full board of badly matching slots, and they are locked on your crew. And this is where Whitebeard's really good, because his captain ability will make unfavorable slots count as beneficial to the crew. There were a lot of other ways that people were trying to get around this. People were trying to use like straight up specials to get matching slots. Some people were trying to use characters that have crewmate abilities that make certain slots matching. Potentially V1 Judge was a character I was thinking of that could potentially work as a captain, but completely ignored the fact that V1 Whitebeard actually did the same thing. And V1 Whitebeard special comes super clutch towards the end of the content. You see here on stage 2, there is Usopp. He does paralyze you, but the thing about it is that Usopp doesn't actually have that much HP. He does have a very annoying barrier, but that is why Garp is so good in this quest, because his special ability deals with a lot of stuff later, but he does have barrier penetration, which allows you to just simply kill Usopp, and then you can use the rest of the characters to knock out the mobs. However, when you do knock out the Usopp, he does inflict special reverse to the middle row of your team, and there will be special reverse that does occur when you reach stage 3. So this is where the support of Hody Jones on Arlong is going to be super essential, as it allows you to get 2 turns of special reverse on all of your powerhouse characters. It's so clutch, you absolutely need to do it. Stage 3 though, with Sanji, you get inflicted with a lot of special bind, 13 turns of it to be exact, and this is where we use the special ability of Garp, allowing us to get the chain boundary as well, which does get around the attack down based on your chain multiplier effect. And also you have the Lin special, which allows you to get 3 turns of orb boost, carrying that orb boost into stage 4, which does have an interrupt to negate you from using an attack or an orb boosting effect. Very much required, but it also gives you a full board of similar slots, which is also going to be important for this stage, because there's actually another debuff on your crew that will negate the effectiveness of strength slots. So you need to get matching slots but still not use strength slots, so dealing damage to Sanji could be annoying, but if you have similar slots, they're still counted as a 2x multiplier, as Lin makes them beneficial to the crew, which is great. And then we obviously move on to the stage 4, which is versus Zoro, and this is where we get to use Cracker, which does change the slots that are given to us into matching, as well as giving us a chain multiplier addition and a color affinity boost, and with the support of the superclass Katakuri, we can also get a 1.75 times attack boost as well. So we actually have a pretty good amount of damage here. The support of Pudding also coming in very clutch, that is attached to Lin to remove 1 turn of that bind that is inflicted to the crew here. Very much required. And you do see that there actually is an Intimidate. I believe it does reduce the effect of chain multipliers by 1 turn, which is good because Cracker actually gives you 2 turns of a chain addition. So it does all like fit in line very well. And then we will eventually get to the final stage, and when we get to that last stage, there's just like a bunch of different debuffs. Like most Grand Voyages at level 5, there's just a bunch of different debuffs that are occurring here. And another thing to note is that the attack order that we use on that final stage is actually very important. I was actually testing out some different attack timings to see if I could make it a bit more efficient, but ultimately the way that we do the attack timing is very important, because we want our 2 strength characters to attack Luffy so that they're doing as much damage as possible. But if you attack with just the 2 strength characters, it's actually not enough damage to completely kill Luffy. What you need to do is you need to attack with 3 characters, ideally the Whitebeard and the Arlong character, but then you need another neutral hitting damage just to get a little bit over the edge. But obviously, if Arlong crew is able to get a super evolution in the future, then that will enable you to like just completely get through this content way easier, so long as that, you know, the color of the character stays the same. But if you just basically buff the numbers of this character, and of course if you get a better switch ability, then yeah, Arlong crew with a super evolution and a level limit break, you know, this team will absolutely decimate it, and you will likely not even need that many more investments. But obviously it is down to, you know, them actually releasing a character such as that. But all in all, that is going to wrap it up from me. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, thanks to Dylan OPTC for being the original creator of the team, the first person to beat this content in the game, which is crazy. So shout out to that guy. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead, leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.